Well, this is further reassurance for our allies on the eastern flank of NATO, for the Baltic states and for Poland. And that is part of our policy of more persistent presence on the eastern side of NATO to respond to any further Russian provocation and aggression.
Large numbers of troops?
A small number of troops to start with.
Secretary of State, do you now accept that NATO is on the back foot? NATO and Britain, of course, therefore, have all been outfoxed by the Russians?
Well, Russia is making a very dangerous situation. Can I start again? Russia is making a very serious situation in Syria much more dangerous. And we'll be meeting today to see what we can do to de-escalate this crisis, particularly in terms of air safety. We'll be calling on Russia specifically to stop propping up the Assad regime, to use their influence constructively to stop Assad bombing his own civilians, and themselves to avoid the use of unguided munitions in areas that are not being controlled by ISIL. And we'll be also offering more support to Syria's neighbours, particularly Turkey and Jordan.
Realistically, you know that they are not going to stop supporting President Assad, aren't they? Well,
if Russia wants to help here, the single most helpful thing they could do is use their influence on Assad to stop barrel bombing his own civilians, their children, his own cities and villages. That's how Russia could help now to resolve this conflict.
Defence Secretary, can you tell British troops who may deploy to the Baltics what you'll actually be expecting them to do there?
Well, they will be part of the new tacit mission, the new training, evaluation and capacity building mission in the Baltic states and Poland. They'll be part of a more persistent presence by NATO forces. We contributed last year to Baltic air policing. We'll be doing that again next year. And this is our policy of persistent presence and aid for our allies on the eastern flank of NATO in response to Russian aggression and provocation.
Thank you, Secretary of State.